ball coach, Joy Taylor.
Did they?
The Colts offensive coordinator, Nick Sirianni.
They did, yes, 1 minute ago.
So this is crazy to me. So you could certainly make the argument the two best candidates were Brian Daboll and Eric Bieniemy, and neither's getting a job. I thought Daboll, what he did with Josh Allen, which we talked about it the whole damn year.
Well, I think part of the reason that they're the best candidates is that they're also very choosy with where they're going to spend the next phase of their career.
This is very good. I could do 10 minutes on this topic. I might. This has always been the craziest thing to me. You make a really good point. No is a very powerful word. And it always gives you, in my career, saying no to something, I always get more money or more opportunities the more I say no. Be picky.
Yes.
Now, when you're 20 years old, you need the income. You just take jobs. So if you're 23 years old and doing what I'm doing, say yes all the time. But then as you get older, 30, 40, 50, use the word no. It's very powerful. So I was talking to Jason Garrett, the Cowboy coach, this weekend. He called me, and we sat, and we had a really nice conversation. And he was a coach, and then he becomes a coordinator. And my takeaway is, if you look at the environment of the NFL, there's going to be 7 job openings next year. And the truth is, this is what I kept thinking when I hung out with Jason Garrett. Don't rush. Because obviously he made Daniel Jones a better quarterback in the last. He only had 1 interception in the last 6 games. So clearly, I thought Daniel Jones was coached up. He was a turnover mess until about December, and then he really cut down on turnovers. They have limitations offensively, didn't win a lot of games. He also won against Seattle and Colt McCoy. So, but I was thinking about this as I hung out with Jason Garrett, and maybe I just told you, I talked to the former Cowboy coach at length. The point being, when I hung out with him, I thought to myself, Jason, don't be in a rush. Because what's happening in the NFL, I mean, good God, Jalen Hurts now. You're like, oh, you got to play Jalen Hurts. I mean, a year ago, I was like, he's more of a runner than a thrower. Then you watch him beat the Saints, and you're like, all these guys are working. We're getting this massive influx of quarterbacks. And every year, it's like 4 teams solve their problem. So if you just wait another year, 4 more bad franchises solve the quarterback problem. And you can look and go, oh, Herbert's way better than I thought. Oh, Burrow's really good. Oh, this kid, not so much. So for you coaches, and obviously Jason Garrett's made a lot of money. No state tax, Dallas, $7-8 million a year. He's fine. He can afford more than I ate in college, right? Like, this is real grown-up eating. Don't be in a hurry. Coaches struggle to say no to stuff. If you're Brian Daboll and you coach the Buffalo Bills, how many jobs that's the best coordinator job maybe in football in America. I get Josh Allen. Sean McDermott's a defensive coach, Joy, so he's not in my meeting room all the time. I mean, Eric Bieniemy may have Andy Reid right behind him going, Eric, move that slot receiver. Literally, McDermott's like, you do the offense. Like, so these coaches just struggle. They've always struggled saying, no. And once you've made a little money, you got your mortgage payment under control, just say no. I told Mike Dunleavy this years ago, he'd coached the Blazers. Remember, they went against Shaq and Kobe, and they took him to a Game 7. He had Rasheed Wallace, very good team. And he got fired. And I remember thinking, take 2 years off. You made a ton of money. He rushed back in and took the Clippers job, Donald Sterling. And I'm like, that you could do better than that. They were, at the time, they were the Pits. And I'm like, no. But he was a friend. I didn't, it's not none of my business what people do. But I think coaches really struggle. There's that insecurity that I got to get a job. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you're a great coordinator like Eric Bieniemy, to your point, and Brian Daboll, be patient. Because 4 more quarterbacks are going to. Zach Wilson's coming in. Lawrence is coming in. Justin Fields is coming in. Max coming in. Sit and watch him for a year and go, he's good. He's really good. He's okay. He's no good. So then when you do you've got your young quarterback and good or not good. I mean, he's not Jason Garrett played in the league. He can more than a lot of coaches say, that works, that doesn't. I can help that. I can't help that. Anyway, there's my rant on your point of being Bieniemy and Daboll you could work your entire career and never have a job as good as Eric Bieniemy. Andy Reid's offensive coordinator.
Well, they have aspirations of taking the next step, which as they should, but there is a trade-off to quality of life. There's a reason why this position is open.
Think about this. So Matt Nagy's first opportunity, he takes the Bears job, but he gets Mitch Trubisky. If he waits, and I don't have it in front of me, if he waits one more year, there's 7 more openings, and he probably gets a better quarterback. Because let's be honest, just because you get one job, you get fired, doesn't mean you get a second job. Some do, most don't.
But you also have to consider who is your GM, who is your owner. You look at the Philadelphia situation, you're not going to have a lot of say there.
How many of the jobs that are open right now are good jobs? Chargers, I get Justin Herbert, super smart GM.
Great job.
Chargers is it's a great opportunity.
Well, because you have to look at why is this position open, right? Philadelphia, the position is open because Philadelphia is incredibly impatient for no reason at all.
I don't think Philadelphia is a good job.
I don't either. The reason the Chargers position is open is because they expected a higher ceiling. Like they were winning, but not enough. They were good, but not good enough.
Right.
That's a better job.
And
That's why the Packers job was so good. You have Aaron Rodgers. You're not doing enough with Aaron Rodgers. Not that they were a bad franchise. Not that they were losing or dysfunctional.
Just go higher.
You have to go higher.
I mean, Anthony Lynn had like a 5-11 season. They brought him back. I mean, so it's like the Chargers are patient. They have the great quarterback, and they have a non-meddling owner. Philadelphia's got, according to reports, a meddling owner.
A quarterback situation.
An unbelievably loud and demanding media. I mean, let's be honest about it. The Chargers, pretty quiet here in Los Angeles. Not a lot of talk.
It's a different lifestyle.
So by the way, Eagles are hiring Colts offensive coordinator Nick Sirianni, head coach. He's 39 years old. I would have said for most of the last 10 years it's a great job, and I don't think Philadelphia today. I think it's just it's been a tire fire the last 2 years.
It's going to be a very difficult place to win, and especially when you look at that division, which is going to be a lot better than it was this year.
By the way, so the Texans are the only team.
Yep.
They have the best quarterback, and they don't have a coach. What does that tell you? That tells you that, like, people with options are not interested. It's at this point. So let's just think to ourselves. So Eric Bieniemy or Brian Daboll has already said, I'm going back to Buffalo.
Yeah, he's not leaving.
So Daboll probably wanted Joey. He wanted the Chargers job, did not get it, and he said, no. And he's right. Buffalo's better. Be the number 2. So Bieniemy, if he was offered the Houston job, now you would think, he gets Deshaun Watson. But if this thing's the Colt it looks like, just think a year or 2 from now what jobs will be open. There's some really interesting jobs out there that could be. But remember, Detroit's a bad job. Don't worry about that. Historically, Washington's tough. It's taken care of. Philadelphia's got issues. It's taken care of. Stefanski. Who's on the hot seat in 1 year in the NFL, Goulet? Who? Give me a coach that what in 1 year from now?
Maybe
Matt Nagy, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Maybe Minnesota.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Bieniemy doesn't take the job. So Daboll has said, I didn't get the Charger job. I'm not good.
How patient is Denver going to be? Arizona?
Okay. So there you go again. Eric Bieniemy, if he doesn't get the job, I wouldn't take Houston. I'm telling you, you cannot overcome dysfunction at the top. But in 1 year, Bieniemy could have. Denver's got a lot of good players. What was the other one? Minnesota.
Cowboys.
How about
the Bengals? If Zach
Joe
doesn't
Burrow?
work out, you get young Joe Burrow.
So everybody always freaks out because, Eric Bieniemy. Listen, Daboll and Bieniemy are the two best. To me, the two best choices.
Yes.
Neither
took
got
jobs.
And I think to your point, they were like, this is a pretty good job I got.
Well, you have a great job. They both have great jobs, and they don't want to mortgage their next step of their career by going to a dysfunctional organization, which could then derail the rest of their career.
By the way, Chicago. So they signed those guys to that. They didn't give them an extension, but they're bringing them back. Isn't that?
Yes.
I get that defense. If in 1 year, if Bieniemy interviewed for that, I get that defense. That's pretty interesting. I don't know. I just kind of rambled there. That's what. So Eagles have a coach, Nick Sirianni, 39 years old. Quarterback controversy. Not going to get much of a say in personnel. Owner's got a strong opinion. Well, I'm not sure if that's a great job anymore. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. And if you look at the division, Dak's coming back. Washington's going to get a quarterback. The Giants are going to get better.